They stand well. Off they race, a perfect start. Away very sharply, Patches O'Houlihan, driven straight to the front. And going through to the inside, Outlaw Kid showing toe with First Empire. From the outside goes Bring the Band Home around the extreme outside. And racing handy in the early part is I'm a Gambler. And Dabab has got back a little bit. And as they settle down, well behind them is Flag of Honor, who's behind Balakazoo and Carolyn Street. And racing down the side together, Patches O'Houlihan being attacked for the lead by Bring the Band Home. They're three in front. First Empire sharing third with over on the inside Outlaw Kid and three wide I'm a Gambler. Dabab in behind them making some ground. Then War Bomber well behind them. Flag of Honor and Balakazoo the rail. And last is Carolyn Street turning in the Nearctic. Patches O'Houlihan and Bring the Band Home with on the inside Outlaw Kid. Running home is I'm a Gambler and First Empire, and down the outside Dabab. Flag of Honor goes to the inside across the track. Patches O'Houlihan, and over on the inside Outlaw Kid. Outlaw Kid the rail and Patches O'Houlihan drifting out there clear and running home down the outside. Dabab will switch course out very wide. Patches O'Houlihan, the king of the sprints. Patches O'Houlihan wins the Nearctic from Dabab. War Bomber is there in the photo with Outlaw Kid. And the race time is 1:09:49. Heading across to the Johnny Walker Winners Circle, a familiar destination for this runner, Patches O'Houlihan. And Patches O'Houlihan continues what is an exemplary season, a perfect season, and now a graded stakes winner in the higher level of Grade 2 with today's Nearctic Stakes in a very dominant performance. Entering the winner's circle, the team with Patches O'Houlihan, Frank DiGiulio Jr., who bred and races the winner, and Robert Tiller, and Sofia Vives, the winning rider. The Bay Gelding 4 by Reload from May the 4th be with you, going to what is officially win number 11 from 13 lifetime starts, is the winner of today's Nearctic Stakes, presented by the Thoroughbred Aftercare. A return of $6.30 for 5. Patches O'Houlihan won. Dabab paid $15.30.
Patches O'Houlihan is one of the toughest racehorses we've ever seen compete here at Woodbine. I'm so excited to be in the winner's circle with Frank DiGiulio Jr. and Bob Tiller, obviously Sofia Vives, with a really interesting steer here today in the Grade 2 Nearctic. Okay, Frank, we're going to be really, really honest. Now, I had heard a rumor this morning that there was a possibility that this horse would not go. You know, that the grass is just not necessarily the place that he prefers. But then I had heard, well, we'll wait a little bit more time and see. And then here he was. He shows up in the race. And I understand this was really almost all your doing. So what was it about taking the risk today that appealed to you?
Last year he had run 6 times before this race came up, so we decided, obviously he had done a lot, and we didn't run in this race last year. He ended up being off 9 weeks to the Kennedy Road, and he didn't fire one of his best races. So this year he's only run 3 times because he had to be stopped on early on because of his foot. So thought, well, the 9 weeks didn't work last year. Let's maybe try him here. Now he'll only have 6 weeks, touch wood, if he's okay to run in the Kennedy Road. And I kept watching the forecast, and it started raining at the end of the races yesterday. I'm going, come on. But, I mean, it was good, and it wasn't, you know, soft or yielding or anything. And that race he ran as a 2-year-old was a throwout to me, and he had won on the inner course. So just thought we'd try. Well, it was not an easy decision, trust me.
I understand it wasn't easy. I totally get that, but it worked out in the end. Tell me, you've owned some awesome horses over the years. Is he number 1?
I'm not going to say that because I don't want to disrespect Pink Lloyd, and I'll go back to Damascus-Dan and Elated Guy, and no one here remembers them, I don't think. But I won't disrespect. He's a great horse. I love him. Today was a huge thrill and relief more than anything, and he's right up there with the rest of them. So
he is a fan favorite.
It's like saying which kid do you like better. I'm not doing that. So he's one of the He's wonderful. He's been a blessing. Really.
Frank, you took a risk and it paid off. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate
Alrighty.
it.
Let's talk to the Hall of Famer because, you know, Bob, you have such a great relationship with Frank that you guys are able to really discuss this. You know, Frank doesn't necessarily say to you, this is what I want to do. You don't necessarily say to Frank, no, this is what we're going to do. It's a team conversation. What were you thinking, you know, especially coming down the stretch?
I can say anything I want to him, and he knows me inside out. And my feeling down the stretch was, I said, you know what? Where's he going? And I'm waiting for him to stop because all day long, the speed has been stopping on that turf course. So I really, I tried to convince him for a couple hours there in a row upstairs that, you know, maybe we should scratch, maybe we should scratch. And I said all kinds of things. I can't remember what I said, by the way. But it wasn't good. And it was, you know, I would have preferred to scratch him. And it was his decision. I did remind him of that. And he was totally correct, Frank. I want to tell you, you were right. I've already told him that. And, you know, this is so thrilling. I mean, I'm out in outer space.
I know. But you know what? There's so many people out there who love watching this horse run. And if he would have stayed in the barn, I think a few people wouldn't have been watching the races today from Woodbine. He has that many fans. So a great decision today from Frank DiGiulio. Great training job by Hall of Famer Bob Tiller as Patches O'Houlihan takes this year's Nearctic.